Hey there. Today, I'm going to talk about hairstyles. What? I know that might seem a little off topic for a neuro performance coach, but I promise you it isn't. Because it turns out that your hair can have a huge impact on your brain function and performance. What? I know, crazy, but it's true. Your skull, seen here, is actually made up of 29 different bones. We're all somewhat familiar about the idea that when a baby is born, we have a couple of soft spots, places where the skull has not completely fused together. By the time we're about 2, the bones have come together and we have what looks like a solid skull. And in fact, up until recently, we thought they were completely fused in one piece of bone. But recent studies are actually demonstrating that there is quite a bit of variability between people in the mobility of these sutures. And as it turns out, this mobility may actually be pretty advantageous. It can help us manage intracranial pressure. It can help us if there is a direct impact to the head, managing that. And it can also help balance out tension created by the jaw when we're eating or talking or singing. So making sure that these sutures are mobile can have a really, really big impact on performance. Now, we have no way of knowing whether you have an egg head or your sutures are quite mobile, but as it turns out, it doesn't really matter because we can do these drills as if you have the sutures and still get really good results. Why is that? Well, it turns out that your scalp is actually really closely connected to your central nervous system. The meninges, which are a soft tissue that protects the outside of the spinal cord and the brain, directly connects through the skull to the layers of the scalp. What this means is that if I have some kind of impact to my scalp, I can actually directly impact my central nervous system. That's really, really cool. Now, how do we do that? Well, we all love head massages, so that's one way. But if we want, we can actually start to play with direction of pull with the scalp and see if there's some benefit to us. So I'm going to do this by targeting those sutures in the skull. I'm going to pick 3 of them and we'll start with those. You are welcome to grab an anatomy book and try a whole bunch of different ones. But these tend to have really great benefits for people. So if you look at the little skull here, you can see there is a ridge that runs directly down the middle of the skull. This is your sagittal suture, and we're going to start with this. So on my head, I have a nice ridge there. I'm going to bring my fingers directly to the side of that ridge, and I'm just going to feel. I'm going to keep my fingers very gently placed there, and I'm actually just going to breathe first. And what I should be noticing is that as I inhale, there's a slight expansion of the skin underneath my fingertips, and as I exhale, that there's a slight contraction of the skin. Now, mine feels fairly even side to side. You're looking for differences in right and left there. If that's the case, or if you're just not sure, because this is all very strange, you can actually just start to play with the movement of your scalp. And I'm going to assess my left side here versus my right side. And my right side feels pretty stuck. Left side has some movement, right side does not. So I want to assess something before I go any further, just to see, that'll give me some feedback as to which direction I actually want to play with. So let's just check. I'm going to do my internal rotation of my shoulder because it tends to be a bit sticky on that side. Not so great today. So I'm going to come back up to this right suture here, and I'm going to play around. It's fairly stuck in all of the directions. I'm going to try straight back and just see what that does. So I'm going to pull my scalp back and then reassess, and that is a lot better. Just for demo's sake, let's try the opposite direction. I'm going to try pulling the scalp forward. No. About out to the side. Better, but I think I like back best. Yes, okay. So now what? Well, on any other part of the body where there isn't hair, if I want to pull skin, I will use kinesiology tape because it helps stretch the skin and you can actually keep that pull as you walk through the world. Very cool. But I have hair and that's going to be a big disaster. If you're bald, use the tape. That's perfect. But if you have hair, we need to do something a bit different. And actually, we can use the hair to create that line of pull. So this is what I call neural braiding. I know, very fancy. So I'm going to take my hair and I'm actually going to pull it backwards as I braid it. If you are a French braider, you can add in a little bit of extra hair as you go. That really helps anchor it in place. And I'm just gonna braid that on back there. Now, you're gonna need a rubber band or a clip. These clips, my hairdresser actually recommended, and they're great for holding hair. So if your hair is too short, or if you just really don't feel like braiding, you can just pull your hair back and clip it, or you can use the clip to hold the braid. They're not exceptionally beautiful, so you know, we can talk about fashion in a moment though. So let's just check. I've got my hair pulling my sagittal suture directly back. Let's reassess. Yeah, that's good. All right, next up is the sphenoid suture. The sphenoid bones are right above the temples here. So I'm just gonna bring my fingers right above the temples. And again, I'm just gonna gently place my fingers there and breathe. And I think the left side's feeling a little stuck. I'm just gonna play with both in mobilizing the scalp, and yeah, the left side is definitely stickier. So I'm going to just check a couple directions here. Actually, diagonally here feels exceptionally stuck to me. So again, I'm just gonna pull my scalp right into that direction, right into the barrier. And yeah, that's really, really good. So I'm gonna take my hair here, right above that suture, and I'm gonna braid it on that diagonal line of pull. La la la. So yes. And I'm gonna take my beautiful clip and put it in there. Ooh. Still really good. The last sutures we're gonna be talking about are the Lamboid sutures, which are on the back of the skull. So right above the occipital ridge, there's a little groove there. And I'm gonna feel here. And my left side is completely stuck. So I'm going to come into here and feel around, and I have very little movement straight up. So I'm gonna pull the scalp straight up. Ah, yeah, that's really good too. I'm gonna take the hair from that spot, and because it's, you know, behind me and awkward, I'm not gonna braid it. I'm just gonna twist it, pull it on up there, and I'm gonna pin it. And now, I'm a rock star. I look like one, I feel like one. It's amazing. So I'm obviously not going to leave the house looking like this. I'm not that brave yet. I'm at home, I can sing, I can work out, I can do whatever I want, knowing that I have maximally prepared my brain for performance. But I think that we can actually start to revolutionize the hair industry here. My challenge to all of us is to figure out how to take the hair pulls that really work for us and turn them into hairstyles that we are willing to wear out in public. I went ahead and did that for a performance I did recently, which I will just share with you now.
There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all by myself.
And so now it's your turn. I want to see your neural braids, and I want you to share them with the hashtag neural braids. I think that it is high time that our hairstyles not only make us look amazing, but feel amazing and perform at our best. So go for it. Show me your hashtag neural braids.
I am free.